What's up, lemon heads? Welcome to the 12 days of Christmas in July. Today is day 3, and I'm going to be talking about the 3 buckets for your budget. But I'm so excited. Thank you for tuning into this series. This series is just a quick 12 little segments of how we can be giving you little nuggets, little presents of insight and information of what we see every single day serving home service contractors all across the country. So, thanks for tuning in today. I can't wait to dive into this. So, at Lemon Seed, we have what we call our 3 bucket approach. Okay. We believe that these 3 buckets are super important so that you can hit on every piece of the customer journey, how you can have the customer funnel, the marketing funnel. Where do they fall in that funnel? And we believe that you should have tactics, time, energy, efforts, and budget allocated to all 3 of these buckets. Okay. So it is not a put all your eggs in one basket. This is the way of how you can have a layered and comprehensive marketing strategy. So let's dive right into it. The first bucket that we're going to talk about is what we call our memorable bucket. Okay. What are we doing to be memorable? What are we doing to stand out, to make people notice us, make people aware of us before they actually need our services? Okay. Because in the home service industry, people do not need our services every single day. Okay. Shocker. I know you're floored. You might be sad about that. But if my pipes are not bursting right now and my drains are flowing clearly, I'm not calling a plumber today. If my house is cool as a cucumber, air is blowing great, I've just upgraded my IAQ, my allergies aren't bad, it's July and my house is cooling down comfortably, I'm not calling you just for fun, okay? You are not like a restaurant where people have to eat 3 times a day, so they might as well go to you, or a fun little boutique where I can just impulse buy new shoes or a new top just because it's fun. Unfortunately, that is not the case with home service industry. So you've got to be doing things that make you very memorable because they may not need your service right now. But when they do, we want them to have remembered you, to have exposure to you, to not be like, who are these people? This is the first time ever hearing of them. When they are automatically more aware of you, they automatically trust you more because they feel like they know you because they see you everywhere. So, to be memorable, there's some different tactics that we believe can kind of fall into that bucket. So, a lot of it is mass media. That could be your billboards, that could be digital radio, traditional radio, social media ads, social media, organic social media, OTT, CTV. There's countless number of tactics that you could be going to building your memorable brand, to being disruptive, to providing things out there before people actually have a time of need service for you. Um, we could also say into our memorable bucket would be our community support. So again, how are you getting out and about? How are you hitting the streets? How are you being with the people? Community support is also a memorable tactic. Your vehicle wraps could kind of fall into there, but the memorable tactics falls at the very top of the marketing funnel, at the very top of the customer journey. Okay. It is not all the way down here at the time of purchase. Okay. It is, how am I casting a wide net? More people know and have exposure to me. So whenever they do actually get down to they need a service, I've cast a wide net to where more people know me. So I should have more customers, more people that can call me when I get down to that. But we've got to cast a wide net, make ourselves be 5 mile famous. Okay. We will say that in numerous ways. So I'd rather you be 5 mile famous, very concentrated, very heavy in a very small geographical area than being very diluted. And that's with your tactics, that's with your budget spend, and that's with your geographical location. So how can you be 5 mile famous and be very memorable in that? We think that you should be allocating about 25 to 40% of your budget to memorable branding tactics. Okay. I'm going to give you guys loose numbers here. Okay. Because I know everyone likes a ballpark range, but this is not an exact science or an exact formula. Knowing you, your brand, your budget, your market creates a much more nuanced technical budget of what we should do. And so that's what Lemon Tea, when you sign on plan with us, that's what we do for you, is create a very nuanced, specific budget. But for me to give you guys just round numbers as you're here on this webinar, I'm going to say you need to be spending about 25 to 40% of your total marketing budget onto memorable tactics. So what is just building your brand, name recognition, brand awareness? That is your memorable tactics. Okay. The next piece of the customer journey is how are you discoverable? Okay. So say that someone does actually need your service right now. Okay. They've had a pipe break. Their AC is smoking and broken. Okay. They need someone to call right now. How does anybody actually find you? How do they get a hold of you? How do they discover you? Okay. That is our discoverable bucket. So that is when someone actually needs to get hold of you. How can they find you? So there's numerous tactics like GLSA, Google Local Service Ads, PPC, AIO, SEO. Okay. I know I've just thrown the whole alphabet soup at you, but let's break it down a little bit because, we speak marketing language and we speak the ABCs of marketing, all those, uh, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank here. The acronyms for all these different things. And we've heard people call all kinds of things. Okay. I've heard talking to contractors talking about PPC and they're like, yeah, I've heard that this people, they want me to buy some paper clips. And like talking about little paper clips. And we're like, oh no, I think they're talking about pay per clicks. So that's what PPC is, pay per click, where you will place a Google ad and you will pay per click that someone clicks on that ad. That's PPC. GLSA is Google Local Service Ads. So those are local service ads that Google places. If you see those cards, 3 different little cards at the top of your screen when someone is searching for that, that is a Google Local Service ad. So a pay per click is an all text kind of written out. It looks like a search result. Google Local Service is going to show up in kind of 3 different cards. It's on a just rotation, if you will. I've seen contractors not want to attribute any revenue to that because they'll say, oh no, that's an existing customer. I'm sorry, sir. If someone went to search heating and air conditioning repair near me and they clicked on a Google Local Service ad, that's because they were searching a generic search term. They were searching a service. They were not searching for your name. That means you did not own them. They did not consider you their guy. They forgot about you to where they had to go to the internet and be reminded of you and be like, oh yeah, I have used those people before. I'll call them. Okay. But they couldn't remember you in the first place. So we're going to get down to that section there. But Google Local Service Ads, that is another way of how you can be, as people are looking for your service, that you can be discovered and you can be found. Okay. AIO, AI, artificial intelligence optimization, SEO, search engine optimization. All of these things, SEO is not new to anybody, but now there's great conversation and debate. Is SEO dead? Is it still alive? Can I do both? Tons of interesting topics and different perspectives here. Some can argue that like the future is now. It's here. If you don't have it, you're gonna be burned. Your company will never exist. Or that's just, ignore it. The traditional methods still work. All kinds of conversations of how it can go. But again, when you have a layered approach, when you can be approaching this to have, again, not putting all your eggs in one basket, you can have discoverable tactics that people can reach and get a hold of you. So those are some different ways. And again, as we've gone from people just being exposed to us to where now they actually need to discover us and find us, you need to have some of those tactics in place so that you can be found. Because most of this is digital, we do think that this is where the majority of your marketing budget should go. Okay. So, of your marketing budget, you need to have about 50, maybe 60% of your budget allocated to that discoverable bucket. Okay. Of your marketing budget. That needs to be allocated there. That should probably include your actual website. Okay. Probably your build, your hosting, things like that. Depending on how you categorize your P&L, you might put that to professional services or things like that. But I think it could be argued that that is your website build, plus your digital paid ads, plus your SEO, AIO, all of that good stuff. But around 50 to 60% of your marketing budget should go to that discoverable bucket, which is the majority of your digital tactics. So again, not putting all our eggs in this digital rat race of leads, but putting the hefty good piece of our budget there. And then last but not least is our Fosterable bucket. Okay. So once people have been exposed to us, they've seen us around, they know our name, once they've actually had a time of need service and they've actually discovered us and gotten a hold of us, then we want to foster that existing customer relationship. Okay. Hopefully we have done a great job where we have provided an outstanding service. We have had our communication skills on point. We have delivered a quality repair or installation. We have actually fixed the problem they called for us. And then our hospitality was over the moon, on par, to where we create a raving fan. They are our loyal customers. They are then our little walking reviews. They are then our advocates. Okay, they are telling their neighbor about their experience of like, I was so pleasantly surprised. I thought this was going to be such an ordeal, but they made it so easy. They were very communicative. I really enjoyed working with them. Or when their neighbor asks, "Hey, I saw you just got your AC repair. Who did it for you? What was that experience like?" They can talk and advocate for you. So you're definitely not done once the customer actually purchases something from you. So we've got to be very intentional in how can we stay their guy. Okay, what do I mean by that? So when people say like, "Oh yeah, I'm looking for someone to come fix my plumbing," oh, I know a guy, you should call so and so. Okay, you've got to stay their guy. And so that means that you have to stay in kind of constant contact with them, stay top of mind to them. So it's not just about top of mind awareness for new customers. It's how can I still be top of mind, still be relevant to people that I've already serviced. Okay. Remember how I said we talk with contractors all the time, and they'll be fighting over their revenue attribution in their Service Titan or in whatever CRM that they're using. They'll say like, that doesn't need to go to GLSA. That's an existing customer. No, okay, you did not stay their guy to where they forgot about you. They were reminded about you from your Google local service ad, but they went free market. They went out in the wild, wild west just searching for somebody. They weren't searching for you. They were searching for somebody. So you were not their guy. Okay. And so there's numerous ways of how you can do that. So text messages, ringless voicemails, emails, very, very simple, relatively low and inexpensive methods, but how you can stay top of mind to them. So we love for our customers to send an email to all of their customers about once a month. Okay. Just send a newsletter. Okay. Make it like a human interest piece. Make it very friendly, soft, approachable. Again, just to stay top of mind, stay in contact with them, but make it relevant. Show your employee of the month. Show your local community support. Show what you are out and about doing. Talk about a so and so's in the office, their favorite salsa recipe. Show the chili cook off that you had with your team. Give a human interest type piece, give a recipe, give a kid's craft. It's summertime. People are looking for crafts to do with their kids and their grandkids. How could you include simple little instructions to something like that? And then at the very bottom, you could put some of your promotional offers that you have going on. In peak of summer, July, you're probably not running many discounted tune-up offers or anything like that, but are you showing your financing offers? Do you have any cool rebates going on? Like, $1,000 back with this energy efficient rebate that you can get on a new system install, or hey, get one of our top tier 2 models and be entered into a drawing for a vacation, a cruise, get a new TV, whatever that might be. So you can talk about those pieces at the very end of your newsletter email. Again, how can we stay top of mind, keep that relationship side of thing without being super salesy? We think an email newsletter is totally appropriate for that. We like to see our clients send those out about once a month. But you can also have numerous automations set up to, especially in Service Titan and Marketing Pro, build out your audiences. So I have plumbing customers who have never used me for HVAC, or I have HVAC that have never used me for plumbing. How can you have some emails that are like, hey, did you know? Hey, reminder. Hey, thanks for using us for your plumbing. Here's a coupon for HVAC, or vice versa. Make it seasonally appropriate, though. You might not need to be giving any discounts or offers on HVAC right now in the peak of season where your guys are slam pack and your board is stuffed full. Okay, now's not the time to be running coupons. But you could do it on the flip to your plumbing, or to your electrical, whatever else that might be, or you could do that, plan for that in the fall. But having individual audiences in your emails to make them super relevant, make them super applicable. It could be open estimates. It could be welcome to the family. Thanks for signing up for our monitoring program or our maintenance program, whatever that might be. It feels very intentional that, man, these people are on their stuff. Okay, they've got it going on. It already provides trust in building that out. So those are some great ways of how you can do email. You can send text messages, ringless voicemails. So what is a ringless voicemail? That's where your phone, it does not ring. It rings less without ring. But all of a sudden a voicemail box message pops up in their inbox and stuff. So it's saying, hey, this is Emily with Emily's Heating and Cooling. Just calling to let you know about our special that we have going on right here, or just calling to remind you about your tune-up that is included in your monitoring program or in your maintenance club program. Again, that touch point can also be like, oh yeah, I do need to schedule that. Oh yeah. If you do any type of service that does require ongoing maintenance or just reminders that have that done, I'm going to give a little shout out to Eric, who is at our cigar lounge. So he and I always love to talk business, and he owns an appliance repair company here in our town. And so he always loves to pick mine and Crystal's brain about marketing and branding and things like that. And so it kind of reminded me because Eric had to come out and fix our dryer not that long ago. And so it just wasn't drying right. It was taking forever for the clothes to dry. I thought the machine was going out. Come to find out, he comes and looks at it. And he's like, actually, you haven't cleaned out your vent in a while. He's like, when was the last time you cleaned this out? I'm like, never since we lived in the home. My bad. He's like, well, you need to be doing this about every year. And I can guarantee, I cannot remember when Eric was last here. Okay. When he was at my home. It's probably been around a year, but could I tell you, has it been 9 months? Has it been 18 months? I really can't tell you. But you know what would remind me that, like, I do need to do this every year? If he reached back out to me and told me, hey, it's been a year. Time for us to come do this. And be like, oh, yeah, it has been a year because time flies. I don't know. I've got 3 kids. We've been having dance recitals and summer vacation and all the things and end of school parties and all the things to where I can't remember when Eric came out. But by having some intentionality, shooting me a text, shooting me a ringless voicemail, shooting me an email, those reminders was more likely to actually get me to schedule something, get him out there, fix the problems, and stay my guy, stay top of mind to that. So, the customer journey does not stop when you service the job. Okay. What can we do to stay? How can we foster that existing customer relationship? Okay. Because we're not done the first time we service them. We want this to be an ongoing relationship so that we can do more things for them, but then also that they can become our advocates. So we think you should be spending about 2.5%, maybe 5% of your annual or your marketing budget to the Fosterable bucket. Okay. You might could bring that up a little bit if you include your community support. I think you could argue that community support could be Fosterable. You could put it in the memorable bucket. You might want that as your own separate budget line item because we love community support, getting out there, showing up in the 4th of July parades, showing up and having the comfort tent, or hey, we're just here to keep you cool. Have a cooling station that is sponsored by your company. Have the water station if you're plumbing. Those are all great ways of how you can stay top of mind, be memorable, be standing out, to where we love it when you will sponsor local community events, get involved with your community in the parades, in the nonprofits. Those are all great ways to be memorable. So we could even think that you could allocate some budget towards your community support, and that way that you have some money to do towards sponsorships or for the local fundraiser that this local nonprofit is putting on, that you have some money and resources that you can allocate towards that. So we believe that you should have our 3-bucket approach for here this 3rd day of Christmas in July, because 1, it gives you a diversified marketing plan. It gives you a diversified marketing spend, but it meets the customer at every step of the customer journey in that marketing funnel. So again, what are you doing to be memorable? Build top of mind awareness, cast a wide net to have a very wide path on your funnel. What are you doing to be discoverable, to when people actually need they have a time of need for your service? How can they actually discover you and get a hold of you? And then what are you doing to be fosterable? How are you cultivating that customer relationship and that customer database? Not just there at the time of need service. Thank you so much. Leave us a review. We'd love to hear how we could have done better, or we hope we exceeded your expectations. But beyond that, every month, every quarter, every year, how are you staying in contact with those people so that you can stay their guy? So I hope this was a good little gift, a little present to you here in July. Ho, 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 Merry Christmas. But if you would like to know more about Lemon Seed and how we might could help you have a diversified marketing strategy and budget and spend to where you can have a comprehensive plan plan that is in all three of these buckets, or you're just looking to ramp up your brand, that is what Lemon Seed was born to do. That is what we are designed to do and what we do every single day. So reach out to us, hello@lemonseedmarketing.com. Visit our website, lemonseedmarketing.com, and we would love to talk to you more. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon.